Hello everyone, my name is Rob, welcome to Kinetic Rugby League. In this video I'm going to be giving you my Super League playoff semi-finals tips and predictions. If you want to see how I got on last week, you can check the pinned comment down below. But without further ado, let's get started on the first game for this week. Kicking things off, we have the Catalans Dragons versus St Helens. Starting with league position, Catalans finished their regular season in second place on the ladder. Saints finished in third in terms of current form. Catalans have won 3 in their last 5 games, Saints have won 5 in their last 5 games. Now breaking down the opponents, first of all, from the Catalans Dragons, it included a win against Salford, Leeds and Wakefield, and then a loss against Hull KR and Wigan, giving them an average league position opponent of 6.4th. In terms of St Helens' last 5 games, it included Warrington, Hull FC, Warrington, Lee and Wakefield, all of those being wins. Their average league position opponent was 7.8, so a stronger opponent in the last 5 on average for Catalans Dragons. Now, looking at the game last week between Saints and Warrington, I was at that game, and I wasn't... Of course, Warrington's performance was shocking. That was a prime example of the kind of performance we've seen from them. On the side of St Helens, it wasn't that convincing either. They were, of course, the better team, created more opportunities, stronger defensively, but for me, there were too many errors from St Helens, and I don't know, I think they probably could have punished Warrington a lot more. So I wasn't fully convinced from that performance. However, the most important thing, with that being said, is that they won the game. And it felt like they had more control over the last performance against Warrington a few weeks ago, but they are getting the wins. That's the most important thing. Now, if you look at the opponents that Catalans have played, they played against Wakefield when they were fighting to stay in the league. They played against Leeds when they were fighting for playoffs. They played against Salford when they were fighting for playoffs. And there were 3 big wins. You know, Wakefield could have given them a tough time like they did to Lee. And, you know, a loss to Hull KR and a loss to Wigan is not the end of the world. But is it an indication that Catalans can't really compete with those teams near the top anymore? Possibly. But I think if anyone in the league loses to Hull KR or Wigan, it's not the end of the world. Now, for this game, I do think St Helens will absolutely be able to compete. There's a good chance that they could have a really strong win in this game, but there's been too many times this season I think I've gone against Catalans. I've not really backed them. And especially at the start of the season, I wasn't sure where they'd finish. I didn't think they'd do particularly well, but in terms of how much or how well they've been able to deal with the changes that they've had to their team, I have a lot of respect for that squad, because they've changed so much over the season, with the spine especially, and they've just gone on with it. They've just dealt with it. And there are definitely leaders in that team. You know, for example, Benjamin Garcia. I think he's one of the most underrated leaders in Super League. He's a fantastic player. He's always making great post-contact meters, getting stuck in with a high number of tackles, and you know, definitely getting his carries in. So players like him and Sam Tompkins lead in the forwards and in the backs, and you have youngsters like Artur Romano, you know, working his way through the team. He's played in multiple positions. Adam Kieran has had an exceptional season as well. Got there in the end. But of course there are leaders all over the St Helens team. So looking at a prediction for this one, I do tend to say this same thing a lot, but I wouldn't be surprised if the team that I go against ends up winning and wins comfortably, because these games can be so close. For me, this is the closer of the 2 games this week. But I think for a prediction on this one, I'm going to go with Catalans Dragons 22, St Helens 20. Finally for this week, we have the Wigan Warriors versus Hull Kingston Rovers. Starting with league position, Wigan finished their regular season in first place on the ladder. Hull KR finished in 4th. In terms of regular form, they've both won 5 in their last 5 games. Breaking down the teams that they've beaten in the last 5, Wigan beat Lee, Castleford, Leeds, Salford and Catalans Dragons, giving them an average league position opponent of 6.6. And Hull KR beat Lee, Wakefield, Salford, Huddersfield and Catalans Dragons, giving them an average league position opponent of 7th. Now, for me, I've been extremely impressed with Hull Kingston Rovers this season. The way that they started, the way that they had ups and downs during the middle, and then the way that they kind of dealt with those, losing Coote and having Jordan Abdul out, especially in those those early games when he was like the most influential player for them, and seeing that evolution from Mikey Lewis over the course of the season has been great to see, and the inclusion of Brad Schneider has been massive. And of course, you've got other players around the pitch. Matt Parcells, had a lot of NRL experience, and he's been part of Super League for a while now. He's, a veteran at this point, and Sean Kenny-Dowell being a huge addition to the team. So, and Ryan Hall, of course. I've been really impressed with Hull KR. Looking at Wigan, though, yes, they've both won 5 in the last 5, but the kind of statement wins that Wigan's put up, yes, Hull KR have, had their statement wins as well, but Wigan at this point are just almost perfect. To me, they're just almost perfect, and I do see a little bit of a bigger gap here, because as much as I can understand that Hull KR might be able to challenge, they might keep it close by half-time, both teams might go back and forth with the tries, I just see more of something. It's just more clinical performances from Wigan in the last few weeks and months, to the point where Hull KR can absolutely have their moments in this game, but to challenge Wigan for the full 80 minutes, I can't see it. And I know that Hull KR came out with a win against Wigan in round 1, I believe. But now moving towards the back end of the season, I think Wigan they've got it down. They've perfected everything, or nearly perfected everything. I just don't think Hull KR's got it in them this time. However, if you are a Hull KR fan, I wouldn't be disappointed, because most of you probably will be, but you should be extremely proud of the season that you've had, because, yeah, I didn't expect it. I don't think a lot of people expected it. Maybe a lot of you guys didn't expect it, but if the road was to end here, I wouldn't be disappointed, because there's certainly positive signs for the future for Hull Kingston Rovers, and to get knocked out by this Wigan team would not be crazy. It would be understandable. So, with all that being said, I'm going to go with Wigan Warriors 32, Hull Kingston Rovers 18. So that's going to be it for this video. If you have any predictions for this week, let me know in the comments down below. Also, let me know how you got on last week. But I do apologise if I was a little bit quiet or rushed a bit. I've got something going on with my voice and my throat right now, so I'm trying not to speak too much. But yeah, thank you very much for watching this video, and I will see you next time.